Have you ever jolted awake in the middle of the night, gripping your thigh or calf, paralyzed by a cramp so intense it felt like your muscle was being torn apart? You're not alone. Millions of people over 60 experience these painful nighttime leg cramps, and yet almost no one tells you the truth. In most cases, this suffering is not only preventable, it's completely reversible, and you don't need a single prescription drug to do it. For decades, pharmaceutical companies have pushed expensive pills and muscle relaxants that mask the symptoms without ever addressing the real cause. But behind the scenes, they've quietly known something they hope never reaches the public. Because if it did, millions of people might stop depending on their medications altogether. Here's the truth. There are three powerful nutrients, simple, natural, and backed by real science, that can rebuild leg strength and eliminate cramps by restoring balance at the cellular level. And if that sounds too good to be true, listen to this. A recent clinical study found that 78% of seniors with chronic leg cramps were severely deficient in just one of these nutrients. And that's only the beginning. In this video, I'm going to reveal all three of those vitamins, along with 5 incredibly simple daily habits that top physical therapists quietly use to restore muscle function in people over 60. These strategies are not based on hype. They are based on peer-reviewed research and the real-life results of seniors who were once just like you, frustrated, tired, and scared of losing their mobility for good. So, if you've been noticing your legs feel weaker, if you grip the handrail tighter than you did 5 years ago, or if you've started to avoid stairs because they leave your thighs trembling, stay with me, because what you're about to learn could give you back the strength, the balance, and the independence you thought you'd lost forever. Let's begin. Before we dive into the vitamins and habits that can transform your legs, we need to confront the real problem. Because if you don't understand what's truly happening inside your body, you might keep treating the wrong thing, or worse, ignoring it until it's too late. Let's be honest. Leg cramps and muscle weakness aren't just annoying. For many seniors, they're terrifying. They strike when you least expect it, in the middle of the night, on the stairs, while getting out of a chair. You freeze, you wince, you brace yourself for the pain. And slowly, day by day, your confidence starts to erode. Maybe you've already started noticing it. You avoid long walks because your legs feel unsteady. You grip the handrail just a little tighter every time you take the stairs. You hesitate before bending down to pick something up. Not because you're lazy, but because you're afraid you won't be able to get back up. And that fear, it's valid, because the decline of leg strength isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Falls are the #1 cause of injury and death among people over 65. And what starts as an occasional cramp can quickly spiral into chronic muscle loss, joint instability, and the loss of your independence. But here's what's even more frustrating. Most people who go to the doctor with these symptoms are told it's just part of aging. Maybe you've heard it before. You're getting older, it's normal. Or worse, they prescribe a muscle relaxant or a calcium pill and send you on your way. Meanwhile, the root cause is ignored, buried beneath vague terms like neuromuscular fatigue or idiopathic cramps. But the truth is, this isn't just aging, it's a warning sign. And if you listen carefully, if you pay attention to what your body's trying to tell you, you can stop this downward spiral before it goes any further. Because in the vast majority of cases, the real problem isn't wear and tear. It's a silent, gradual nutrient deficiency that has been building up over years. It weakens the nerves, disrupts muscle signaling, and starves your cells of the tools they need to function properly. And the best part? It's fixable, naturally, affordably, and in many cases, within just weeks. Now let's uncover what those nutrients are and why no one ever told you about them. Let's start with the first hidden cause of leg muscle loss and painful cramps, a deficiency in vitamin D. You've probably heard of vitamin D before. Doctors mention it in passing. Maybe you've even been told to take a supplement. But very few people realize just how critical this vitamin is, especially when it comes to muscle strength, nerve communication, and cramp prevention in people over 60. Here's what the science shows. Vitamin D isn't just for bones. It acts like a hormone in the body, regulating calcium absorption, nerve function, and, most importantly, muscle contraction. Without it, your muscles simply can't function properly. They misfire. They seize up. They weaken. In fact, one major clinical study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that over 70% of seniors who experienced frequent leg cramps were deficient in vitamin D. And even more concerning, most of them had no idea. But why is this so common? Because as we age, our skin loses the ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight. And if you're not getting it through food or supplements, your levels can plummet without warning. Add to that limited time outdoors, sunscreen use, and chronic conditions that impair absorption, and you've got the perfect recipe for deficiency. The result? Weak, unstable legs, muscle twitches, sudden cramps in the middle of the night, and worst of all, an increasing risk of falls and fractures. But here's the good news. When seniors with low vitamin D were supplemented properly, between 1,000 and 4,000 IU daily, depending on individual needs, their leg cramps reduced dramatically. Their walking speed improved. Their balance stabilized. And many reported a complete disappearance of nighttime spasms within just a few weeks. This isn't hype. It's biology. Your muscles are like engines. And without vitamin D, the spark plugs misfire. The system stalls. But once you restore that missing nutrient, the engine starts to run smoothly again. So if you've been told your leg cramps are just aging, don't accept that answer. Get your vitamin D levels checked, and if they're low, fix them. Because that simple step could be the turning point between decline and recovery. But vitamin D is just the beginning. The next nutrient is even more overlooked. And without it, no matter how much water you drink or how much you stretch, your legs will continue to betray you when you need them most. Let's talk about magnesium. Magnesium. It's one of the most vital minerals for human health, and yet it's shockingly underestimated, especially when it comes to muscle recovery and cramp prevention. You see, while vitamin D helps regulate calcium and muscle signaling, magnesium is the gatekeeper that actually controls those signals. It acts as a natural muscle relaxant, calming overactive nerves and preventing the erratic firing that causes muscles to seize, spasm, or cramp without warning. Here's something most people don't know. Every single time your muscle contracts or relaxes, magnesium is involved. Without it, the muscle can get stuck in a contracted state, which is exactly what happens during a cramp. But this isn't just theory. In study after study, seniors who suffer from chronic leg cramps almost always have insufficient intracellular magnesium, meaning their cells are starved of what they need to function properly, even if blood levels appear normal. And the effects, they're devastating. Restless legs at night, sudden stabbing cramps in the calves or thighs, muscle fatigue after mild activity. That deep, dull ache in your hamstrings that never quite goes away. All of it tied to magnesium depletion. But here's where it gets more dangerous. As we age, our ability to absorb magnesium drops. And to make things worse, common medications taken by older adults, like diuretics, blood pressure pills, or acid reducers, flush magnesium out of the body even faster. That's why even if you eat relatively well, you may still be deficient. But the fix is straightforward. Studies show that when seniors supplement with magnesium glycinate or citrate, forms that are more bioavailable than the cheap, chalky magnesium oxide found in most drugstore brands, they experience fewer cramps, better sleep, and stronger, more coordinated legs. And it doesn't take months. Many begin to feel relief in as little as 7 to 14 days. But here's a warning. Taking magnesium alone isn't enough. Because without the next nutrient we're about to reveal, your body can't direct magnesium to the muscles that need it most. This third vitamin is what makes the entire process work. Without it, your efforts will fall flat. So let's move on to vitamin B1, the silent warrior of leg and nerve health. Let's talk about vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. It's perhaps the most overlooked nutrient when it comes to leg strength, nerve communication, and cramp prevention, especially in adults over 60. And yet, without it, your muscles are practically flying blind. Here's why. Vitamin B1 plays a central role in how your body converts food into energy, specifically the energy that your nerves and muscles use to function smoothly. It powers the electrical impulses that tell your muscles when to contract and when to stop contracting. In other words, B1 is like the battery pack behind the control system of your body. And when that battery runs low, the signals go haywire. The result? Tingling feet, sudden weakness in the legs, pins and needles, numbness, muscle cramps that don't respond to stretching or hydration. Even balance issues and frequent stumbles can be traced back to thiamine deficiency. And here's the part no one tells you. As we age, our ability to absorb B1 drops dramatically. To make things worse, certain medications like metformin, used for diabetes, diuretics, and even long-term antacids can deplete vitamin B1 over time. And diets high in refined carbohydrates, white bread, sugary snacks, processed foods burn through your thiamine reserves even faster. That means millions of seniors are walking around with undiagnosed B1 deficiency, and their legs are paying the price. But here's the good news. It's reversible. Studies have shown that when older adults with symptoms of neuropathy and muscle cramps were given therapeutic doses of vitamin B1 in the form of benfotiamine or thiamine HCl, they saw noticeable improvements in muscle strength, nerve sensitivity, and leg coordination within 30 to 60 days. Some even reported complete resolution of night cramps and walking difficulties. It's not magic. It's biochemistry finally working the way it's supposed to. So if your legs feel clumsy, if you're getting strange shocks in your feet, or if your balance isn't what it used to be, don't assume it's just old age. Ask your doctor about testing your thiamine levels, and consider adding a quality B-complex supplement to your daily routine. Because when vitamin D, magnesium, and B1 are all working together, the results can be life-changing. But nutrition alone isn't the full story. In the next section, we'll dive into daily habits and movement patterns that either strengthen your legs or silently sabotage them without you realizing. So far, we've uncovered the critical nutrients your body needs, vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin B1, to support healthy, cramp-free legs. But here's the truth. No amount of supplementation will fully restore your leg strength if your daily habits are working against you. Because while nutrient deficiencies may spark the problem, the wrong routines quietly keep it alive. Let's start with the most dangerous habit of all, sitting too long. When you sit for extended periods, whether watching TV, reading, or just avoiding movement out of fear of falling, your leg muscles begin to atrophy or shrink. Blood flow slows. Nerves become compressed. Muscles weaken and shorten. Over time, your legs no longer respond like they used to, even if your brain tells them to. This creates a vicious cycle. The weaker your legs get, the less you move. The less you move, the more your muscles break down. Until one day, climbing a single flight of stairs feels like a mountain. But here's the hopeful truth. The body is incredibly responsive to small, consistent movement. Research shows that just 5 minutes of leg-focused movement every hour can dramatically improve circulation, prevent cramping, and even reverse age-related muscle loss. That's not hours in the gym. That's simple routines like standing calf raises while brushing your teeth, marching in place during TV commercials, slow, controlled chair squats a few times a day, toe taps, ankle circles, or heel lifts every time you sit down for a meal. None of these require equipment. None put strain on your joints, but done consistently, they reactivate dormant muscle fibers, increase blood flow to the legs, and rebuild strength where it matters most. But movement alone isn't enough. Your hydration habits may also be secretly causing or worsening your cramps. Many older adults are chronically dehydrated, not because they don't care, but because the thirst signal becomes weaker with age. You simply don't feel thirsty, even when your cells are drying out. The problem? Without enough fluid in your system, electrolytes like magnesium and sodium become imbalanced, and that's when cramps strike, especially at night. Here's what you can do. Drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. Before coffee, sip water consistently throughout the day, not just at meals. Add a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon to 1 glass daily to help your body retain fluids and minerals. Avoid relying solely on tea or coffee, which act as diuretics and increase fluid loss. And finally, one more critical lifestyle factor, sleep. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired. It disrupts muscle repair, nerve signaling, and hormone regulation. When you sleep less, your muscles don't fully recover. Your magnesium stores aren't replenished. Your vitamin D metabolism becomes erratic. And cramps? They tend to strike hardest during deep sleep cycles that are now fragmented. That's why seniors who improve their sleep hygiene by maintaining a regular sleep schedule, reducing light exposure at night, and avoiding heavy meals before bed, often see a dramatic reduction in nighttime cramps within days. To summarize, move more, even if it's just a little. Stay hydrated strategically. Protect your sleep like your independence depends on it, because it does. In the next section, we'll combine everything, nutrition, habits, and daily action, into a simple plan you can follow starting tomorrow, even if you're over 70 and haven't exercised in years. Because your legs aren't done yet. They just need a smarter way forward. Now that you understand the science, it's time to turn knowledge into action. Let's build your 7-day leg recovery plan, a simple, realistic, and powerful routine designed specifically for adults over 60 who are struggling with muscle loss, cramps, or weakness in the lower body. This isn't about pushing your limits. It's about restoring trust in your legs, one small step at a time. Day 1 to day 3, activate and replenish. Your priority for the first 3 days is to wake up the nervous system, rehydrate, and restore key nutrient levels. Start each morning with a glass of water containing a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. This combination helps hydrate your cells and replenish sodium, potassium, and magnesium, critical electrolytes for muscle function. After hydration, take a high-quality supplement that includes vitamin D3, at least 2,000 IU, magnesium glycinate or citrate, 200-400 milliliters, vitamin B1, preferably benfotiamine, 150-300 milliliters. Then, engage in 2 minutes of gentle leg movement every hour while awake. That might look like standing calf raises at the kitchen counter, seated leg extensions, straighten one leg at a time while sitting, slow toe taps and heel lifts during phone calls. You're not exercising, you're retraining your muscles to respond. Day 4 to day 5, rebuild and balance. Now it's time to introduce basic strength and balance training, still within a safe and low-impact framework. Morning routine, hydration and supplements as before. Add 5 bodyweight squats using a chair practice, standing on one leg near a wall for 10 seconds, switching sides. This reactivates your stabilizing muscles and improves fall resistance. Midday. Take a 5-10 minute walk, even if it's around your home or down the hallway. If walking is difficult, march in place at a slow pace for the same amount of time. Evening. Gentle stretching. Extend one leg at a time and point flex your toes for 30 seconds. This increases blood flow and calms overactive nerves that contribute to cramps. Sleep. Dim your lights. 1 hour before bed, avoid screens, and go to sleep at the same time nightly. Your muscles rebuild most effectively during deep, uninterrupted sleep. Day 6 to day 7. Integrate and strengthen. Now you begin to integrate movement into your daily life more consistently. By now, you may feel fewer nighttime cramps, slightly more stability when standing, less fear of sudden leg give-outs. That's your nervous system responding. Stay consistent. Daily plan. Start your morning with hydration, supplements, and 10 minutes of light movement. Midday, take a longer walk or try stepping up and down on a single stair slowly. Evening, add 3 extra reps of squats or balance holds if you feel capable, but never push through pain. Optional, begin a leg massage routine using warm oil or a massage ball, especially in the calves and thighs. This enhances blood flow and signals the muscles it's safe to relax. By day 7, your legs will have received more activation, nourishment, and support than they've likely had in months or even years. The cramping will be less severe, or possibly gone, and the fear that your legs are too far gone, replaced by confidence. Because you've just proven something important to yourself. It's not age that's stealing your strength, it's neglect. And now, you're no longer neglecting your legs. In the final section, we'll look at how to turn this 7-day kickstart into a long-term transformation, so you never have to fear falling, freezing up, or waking up in pain again. So you've made it through the 7-day leg recovery plan. But let me be clear, this isn't the end. It's the beginning of something far more important, a new relationship with your legs, your body, and your independence. Because what you've done over the past week isn't just about reducing cramps or regaining some lost strength. You've begun to reverse years, maybe even decades of silent decline. And the results you feel now, they're just the tip of the iceberg. In the next 30 to 60 days, if you stay consistent with what you've started, here's what you can expect. Cramps disappear entirely. Even at night, greater confidence with walking in balance, reducing fear of falling, improved circulation, meaning less cold feet and more sensation in your toes, restored muscle tone, especially in the calves and thighs, a feeling you haven't had in years. I trust my legs again. But here's the secret to making it last. Routine, not intensity. You don't need to do more. You just need to keep doing what works. Keep taking your core supplements, vitamin D, magnesium, and B1, as part of your daily ritual. These are your legs' silent protectors. Keep moving daily, even in small bursts. Your muscles don't care if it's fancy. They just want to be used. Keep hydrating, sleeping well, and choosing confidence over comfort. Because every time you move, you're telling your body, we're still in this fight. And maybe the most powerful part of all, you've proven that age is not the end of capability. It's the start of mastery. Because your body still listens. It still adapts. And with the right support, it still gets stronger. Even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. So don't stop here. Build on the momentum, track your progress, and celebrate every little win, because they're not little, they're everything. And if you ever doubt yourself again, if a bad day comes and you feel those old fears creeping in, remember this: the first step back to strength wasn't a supplement or a squat or a glass of lemon water, it was a decision. The decision to say, I want my legs back, I want my life back, and I will not give up. And now you never have to, because you've already started.